back then everybody was a this DJ. You know, and back then when I first started DJ, everybody was he's a reggae. He played reggae.
A hip hop DJ.
He played hip hop.
Yeah.
He played soca.
Yeah.
Now, because I was Panamanian and because we listened to so much different kind of music, and I was doing a lot of like
it was
events,
everything.
I had to come to the party with mad crates of records because guess what? I got to play reggae. I got to play hip hop. I got to play soca. I got to play Spanish music. I got to play oldies. I got to play Haitian music. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of different music that I kind of had to play because of you know, my culture and how we brought up. We listen to everything.
Yeah, Babylon them chase we with them gun pon them waist. See, get a you, don't let them replace we.
It's your boy Kill on the Great. I'm here with another one. I got my dude Big Nito in the building. We're here chopping it up.
What's going on?
Caribbean Talk TV. What's good, Nito?
I'm here, Papa. It's good, Cal.
Chilling, man. I appreciate the fact that you came here and you're doing this right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Much thanks, much love, and all that, man.
Not a problem. Family, man.
Yeah. So let's start with Big Nito. Who is Big Nito?
His name is Norman D'Souza. Norman Esteban D'Souza III, aka DJ Big Nito. Big Nito is a DJ. Big Nito is a producer. Big Nito is a radio personality. Big Nito is an artist. Big Nito is a creative mind, an entrepreneur. Big Nito is a father, family man. I was born in Panama.
Okay. Which part?
In Panama City.
Okay.
In a part of Panama called Caledonia or Maranhão. So kind of like the, you know. And then my grandmother lived over there, and then my grandfather, he lived in Parque de Febre, which is over in Riobao, kind of like on the other side of Panama. So, and then he lived in a house, and he grew fruits and vegetables in his backyard. And he had hot water. So
You remember those things?
Yeah, anybody from back in the islands know you was fancy if you had hot water.
That's what's up.
So, you know, my grandmother in her crib, she had an apartment, she didn't have hot water. But so pretty much, you know, I moved up to New York when I was 2, but every summer, faithfully, till I was like 15, 16, I would be in Panama for the whole summer.
Okay, so you still had those values instilled in you?
Yeah, so every year for 3 months, I'll be in Panama, you know, with my grandmother and getting those lessons that I think about today, you know.
What are some of the fond lessons that you learned or that you've experienced
I used to watch,
growing up in Panama?
Just watching my grandmother grind.
Okay.
Like my grandmother lived on top of a bar, and every Wednesday and Saturday they would have the horse races.
Okay.
So every Wednesday and Saturday, my grandmother would come downstairs, set up I would bring her table downstairs, but she would set up her food, and she would sell food on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
This was your mother or your father's mother?
My mother's mom.
Okay. So this is where your mother got that.
That hustle.
That hustle comes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The trickle down.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
So those are your memories of just being in Panama. Now, do you remember anything about coming to New York when you was 2, or was that like too young? And
I think my only memory of, and when I first moved to New York when I was 2, we lived on Bergen Street. We lived on Bergen Street between Franklin and Classen, and that block is crazy because like all the Panamanians at that time when they moved up from Panama,
that's where they land
on that block.
Okay.
On that block, right? Like Franklin Avenue, period, but that block specifically.
Okay.
And a lot of Panamanians lived there. So I have one memory of I have a scar over my eye,
right.
And I rode my big wheel down the steps.
You mean down the building stesteps?
Yeah, down the building steps.
What kind of mad? That's some madness, man.
Brooklyn madness.
That's what they do in Brooklyn.
Sorry, I had to interrupt on that one.
And end up getting a cut over my eye. So that's like my only memory of like when I was really smart. And again, I know I was small because we didn't live on Bergen Street for too long.
Mm-hmm.
We only lived there for like maybe a year or 2.
Okay.
And then we moved over to Albany.
Okay. And you've been there
And then then I pretty much lived in Albany until I moved out, got my own spot.
Okay.
In my 30s, so yeah.
Nice. What year are we talking about these times that, you know, the early years? What
I was born in 72, so you talking about like me in Albany like from like 74.
Okay.
Because we moved to New York when I was like two and a half.
Okay. And any special memories from over there? Like anything that you remember fondly that you could, like
The snow. I just remember like going outside building snowman with my dad and my mom. The snow was crazy. Like back in 77, it was a crazy snowstorm.
Yeah.
I think it was either 77 or 79, but it was a real bad snowstorm. And I remember the snow was so high you could walk over the gate. The snow was so high.
Yeah.
So you could actually walk over a gate.
Over the gate, being that
The snow was
5
that
foot
high.
gate.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, like the snow was mad high. About that Albany growing up, I remember just playing in the back of the circle.
Yeah.
I used to go in the daytime catch bees.
Do you still like see friends and people that you knew from them times until now, and how do you
Yeah, because you know my mom still stays in Albany. So,
Okay.
You know, I still go check my dude.
Yeah.
I bump into my friends all the time. It's good.
Yeah, everything is
feeling.
good. When did you realize that you wanted to get into the DJ thing, and how did that transpire?
When I was 16, I was hanging out with my homie Rudy, and we were making just tapes with songs on it from beginning to end. But we were listening to Stone Love and Black Cat, Black Hawk, Silver Hawk, all the Jamaican sounds, and we wanted our music to keep flowing, like how they mixes was flowing. So I was like, yo, I gotta get a mixer. So I bought a mixer and then got a turntable from this other dude that I know, and got a turntable from my cousin DJ Coochie, aka Famoso. And then that's it. Now we had the setup. Then we was just practicing, buying records, and I was heavy into reggae. I was dating a young lady, and her older sister daughter's father had a club. His name was Brian. It's a spot called Rainbow Terrace on Nostrand. And he heard some of the mixtapes that I used to give her that she would be playing. He'd be coming to visit his girlfriend, and he'd be hearing her playing the mixes. He came and asked, like, yo, where you get that mix from? She's like, oh, my boyfriend made it. So I ended up now, he was like, well, yo, one day, he's like, I want to meet him. So one day I went upstairs, and we met, we spoke. He's like, yo, I want to get you want to come play in my club? I was like, yeah, why not? He's like, okay. I was like, yo, you just got to ask my mother, though. So, we went downstairs and spoke to my mom in the shower. She's like, okay, no problem, as long as you keep my son safe. And then that was it. And they got me a nice outfit.
You were 16 at the time?
Yeah, I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
I never forget when they got me a nice new outfit, pair of dark army green suede and leather ballies, some army green corduroys, and an army green sweater. And I did my first party that night at Rainbow Terrace. After that, I was playing there regular. And then Brian was Trini, so he introduced me to soca music.
Okay.
So I started playing the music, going through the songs. He would line them up for me, and then I would play them. So that I started to learn a lot of the artists from then on. Then while playing there, I met DJ Lance. Sleep in peace. R.I.P. to DJ Lance. I met Lance, and he was playing a lot of the old school disco and stuff like that. And he heard me that night. I was playing the reggae, so he came over to me. He's like, "Yo, listen, I like some of that reggae stuff you was playing." He's like, "Yo, make me some tapes, and I'll make you some old school disco tapes." And that's how I got to meet DJ Lance at a very young age. But pretty much from 16, I had a prom to do, and I linked up with my boy Dwayne. His father had a DJ set up, and then my boy Chris, his older brother, was DJ Scratch, who I call him like one of my mentors. So we had a high school prom to do, and I only had reggae records. Dwayne only had like soca records because his pops was Trini. So I was like, yo, I need hip hop records. So Chris was like, yo, I'm gonna ask Scratch. I'm gonna ask my brother. I was like, word? He's like, yeah. So I never forget the day we went to Chris' house, and Scratch was in the house. We went in the building, and Chris was like, yo, can we use your records? Because we got a prom to play, and we don't have none of the hip hop records. So I never forget that they stopped for a minute, and he's like, "Yo, don't take my records out of order." And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna take them out of order.
So hold up. You telling me that your introduction into playing hip hop music on record was from legendary DJ Scratch
Yeah.
of EPMD fame?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scratch let us use his records for the party, and he was again strict orders. Don't take my records out of order, because as a DJ, you know, you put your records in an order. How you gonna play them? So when you put your records in order, you don't want them to come out of order. So when he said don't take my records out of order, I knew exactly what he meant, because you know some DJs, they play music and they just play, and then they just stack the records to the side. They don't put the records back. But I'm one of those DJs. Like when I finish playing a record, I got to put it back in the sleeve and put it back. You know, so when that day I felt like I won the lotto. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it was like I had the records to play, and I had DJ Scratch records.
To this day, do you and Scratch have a relationship? Or you guys good? Like
Yeah,
that's family right now.
Yeah, that's the big bro again. Like that's like my mentor. I remember at one point I was practicing routines in my crib. I was practicing because Scratch had won the DMC DJ
battle,
and I wanted to enter it.
Okay.
So I had started practicing. You know, because I like my
so
own thing.
you was doing routines and tricks and all these things.
Yeah, so you know,
right.
like I was actually starting to learn and do routines and teach myself, you know, routines, Scratch techniques, coming back over my head, spin back, getting up on it, moving the turntable back and forth with my nose. That was like, you know, again, that's kind of when I got into the hip hop part of playing music. So I kind of went through different phases as I was coming up in the DJ. Like I went through my reggae phase, and then I went through my soca phase, and then I went through my hip hop phase, and then I kind of came back to my roots. Redline didn't start yet at that point. At that point, did I even have a DJ? I don't even think I had a DJ name.
You didn't even have a DJ name at that point.
I didn't even have a DJ name at that point. Like real talk, we were just playing music. We were just hyped to be playing.
You were just doing your thing.
Yeah, like I think my first DJ name was DJ Superculture.
DJ Superculture.
I found my old business card the other day, you know. Yeah, and they had it on there, and it made me, I bust out laughing just like how I laugh now, because I was like, wow.
Okay.
That was my first way. Let me see, I think I got it in my phone, yo.
DJ Superculture.
Yeah, I think I got it.
And you still got that. You still got. Oh man, DJ Superculture.
I think I found, because I found the other day I was cleaning out my storage.
Yeah.
And I found some old pictures.
Okay.
And in the old pictures, I found my old business card. Wait, let me see if I can put it on the screen. Let me see. You see it?
So explain to me, who am I looking at right now?
Alright, you're looking at a picture of Sean, which is aka Ragus. You're looking at Dubar,
AKA DRM.
aka DRM. Back there he was
Dubaloo.
And myself. At that point of DJ Superculture. I think you see the name on the card. Can you see it? Yeah.
R.I.P. to DRM
Yeah,
also.
R.I.P. to my brother DRM, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you was DJ Superculture. You was with Sean Ragas. You was with DRM.
Yeah.
You know, Dubaloo.
That was after. That was like in like college time.
Okay. And how did Redline come about? How did Redline Productions come about?
Redline came about during college time. I had a little hoopty that I had got for pretty much like for $50, like for free, from a friend of mine. The car was sitting in his driveway. I think it was his mother or father car. He just wanted to get rid of it. So I had the car. I registered it. I put a little insurance on it, and I put some, I put a radio and I put some speakers in it. So the speakers in it was Redline. I think it was like some 10-inch or some 12-inch speakers, but they used to play real good. Everybody used to get in the car, even though the car was...
Those were the Redline speakers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody would get in the car and be like, yo, you got hoopty, but yo, your shit banging, you know what I mean? So that, so when We used to call ourselves what? Super culture. Did I have a name? Music Mission.
Music Mission.
Yeah, and I didn't like that.
We all came from somewhere.
Yeah. I was like, nah, no. I was like, that don't sound hard.
Okay.
I was like, that don't sound hard. And then one day I went with my dude, and he was working on the car, and then he turned the speaker over, and then I just seen Redline. I was like,
It hit you.
yeah, I like that.
Okay.
And that's it. Like, we was Redline.
Redline Productions.
Yeah, we was Redline Production.
Okay.
And at that time, all the Trini dudes, they GB Productions, you know, so I was like Redline Productions, you know.
Mm-hmm. How long did you guys take to really like get your sound, get your voice out there, get your name out there, get your vibe out there? How long did it take for you guys to get to that point?
It went quick for us because while I was in college, I was in like 2 groups. I was in a business organization group for my major, and then I was also in the Caribbean club on our because everybody had to take like club hours. It was like every Thursday, an hour and a half to join a club. So I ended up joining the Caribbean club. And through the Caribbean club, what ended up happening was we started doing like bake sales and food sales every Thursday. And then we found out that we could bring music. So I started bringing my set. And every Thursday turned into like that hour and a half, it was like a dance hall. I'm talking about like, it got to the point where when you came to New York Tech on a Thursday, you just seen mad people in the hallway like, hold on, you don't go here. I've never seen you here before. But you knew why they was there. Because when it was club hours, everybody was upstairs on the 6th floor, and that it was a room. It was kind of set up almost like with bleachers, kind of like, but not bleachers, but like steps that kind of came down, kind of bleacher-like,
Right.
with a little centerpiece in the middle. And it was like a party for an hour and a half. Like I remember people had the spray cans with lighters. After the party, people be leaving with their shirt off, sweating. Like, it was crazy. And that was kind of the start of it for us, because then from New York Tech, we started doing parties. I think my first big party that I did was Hawaiian Luau at Graham's Resort with my homie James from IFTV, who they had a cable show.
Okay.
And he actually just sent me some video of that the other day. I had to bug out. So that was like my first big major event. And then, you know, from there, it just took off. We never were, like, I was never a DJ to sit around and wait for people to hire me. Because I felt like I don't want to give nobody that power.
Right.
You know, to feel like, oh, well, if you don't book me, I don't work.
Right. So you started doing your events,
you know, then,
and putting your foot forward.
Just
to make sure
branding myself, like letting people know that, you know, that I'm a brand. I started doing Easter shows with my friend Tysa.
How much years was those Easter shows? Because I remember some. I think I
did it for like 14 years.
That's a lot of time, bro. It was the Easter modeling, was
it?
Yeah,
it was like a fashion show and talent, because a lot of the kids were very talented.
Okay.
So it was Easter, it was fashion and talent, and we did that for like 14 years. So again, like I said, I just always want to create stuff and just put myself out there so that when people book me, it's like they see the value in booking me. It's like, because guess what? Like, he could play good, he got a network, so if I have him playing my event, they have a network that can reach out to people to draw people to my event. So my whole thing was, I always wanted to make myself valuable. I didn't want to be popular, I wanted to be valuable. When you valuable, you stay valuable. So people come to you because they know they can build off of you, because you have something that you bring to the table.
So branching off from doing your shows and everything like that, and just, you know, staying focused and doing your events, how do you think you stayed relevant, you know, throughout like all these years? What do you attribute to your relevancy, you know, in the music as far as DJing goes throughout all these years?
I still fuck with the young DJs.
It's that simple.
Yeah, because when I was a young DJ, I used to rock with my buddy Al in the System. That was the first official sound system I played on.
Right.
And that was because Coochie was already playing on Al in the System. My next buddy Julio was playing on Al in the System. And then because I was at that point I was that good in reggae, they put me on the team as the
Reggae guy.
Reggae, yeah. Like when they was like, yo, Nito,
The
yo,
reggae guy.
yo, Coochie, you gonna play like 3 more, and then after you, Nito, you gonna come in with the reggae and lash them up. Start with like some old school, and again, you know, they trained me, they groomed me, they showed me how to start, how to come in. Yo, listen, start with some old school, and then come into the new, and then lash them and go in at the end. So you know what I mean? So they showed me how to organize my music. They showed me how to time it.
Yeah.
You know, I learned timing from them. It's like when you hear a lot of comedians talk about timing. I learned timing from working with Al and Coochie and all these guys. How to, you know, even how to organize your music and how to finish off the night. You know, depending on and I learned that. Like I remember doing parties with young dudes and the night would end up in a fight. And then I remember doing parties with the older people and everything and nice. And I had to kind of learn why. Because, you know, as a young person, you want excitement, and unfortunately sometimes, you know, that excitement turned into violence. So I kind of learned as you work with the older people, you bring people to a certain point, and then you bring them down.
All right. So speaking about learning, what did you learn working with Sean? What did you learn working with Duba? And what did you learn working with Coochie, DJ Coochie?
Sean was my reggae connect, because he was attached to the Jamaican reggae world. He used to date. He used to date a chick that was related to Claude from Afrique Sound Station. So we used to be in all of those little reggae parties, them good old and Monday night this and, you know, old school that. We used to be in all those little reggae clubs, and, you know, in that circle, and that exposed me to a lot of reggae music, culture vibes, and just how Jamaicans party. I learned, I ain't gonna front, my 45 case. If I was to bring my 45 case right here now, my whole 45 case is Afrique Sound Station vibes. It's a lot of reggae and a lot of old soul, like Dionne Warwick and Diana Ross and Celine Dion and those kind of tunes. My 45 case is mad. I went through it the other day. I was bugging. I said I gotta put a lot of that stuff to But yeah, so that's what I learned when I was hanging out with Sean. When I was hanging out with Dubar was like my soca connect, because Dubar used to play pan, and Dubar used to be in the pan yard. So I used to go to the pan yard, and that was where I got my soca vibes from when me and Dubar used to run, because we would be in all the soca fests, all the boat rides. Like we would have a gig, finish at 4 in the morning, and go to Tilden Ballroom and park the van with the equipment and walk into Tilden at 4:30, and the party's still pumping. And at that point, they wasn't even charging you. We just walk right in and fet till maybe another hour and a half, get some drinks, and then go home. The storage open at 6:30, be at the storage, drop off the equipment, I drop him home, and that was a weekend for us. So Dubai was my soca connect. And then Coochie was like my connection to the Panamanians. Coochie,
back to your roots.
Yeah,
Coocie's back to your roots.
Yeah, Coochie very heavy, well versed in the salsa. He very well versed in the culture and the history of just because Coochie been DJing since he was like 15, 16. And he played for a lot of these Panamanian bars that aren't even open anymore. The Villa, you know, the Basement, a lot of popular Panamanian spots that don't exist no more. A lot of the owners passed away, you know, may they rest in peace. A lot of good people and stuff like that. So he's very well versed in the Panamanian bar history, you know?
Okay.
So, you know, with all these different things kind of add up to me. And then I still have my personal connections with certain DJs that I got good
A good repertoire.
Good repertoire with that, you know, that I can't even say like they friends, like they family.
Right.
You know, when you talk about like DJ Spice, that's family. DJ Scratch, that's family. And that's not a friend, that's family. You know, I grew up watching him. You know what I'm saying? Been in his crib.
Is there like a favorite genre of yours?
Yo, it's weird. I can't even call it. Like, I have my
You have your
moments.
times.
I got my moments.
I think I got the same thing
I got
too.
my moments. Like some days I'll get in the car and I'll put on La Mega and I'll be listening to Spanish salsa, merengue, reggaeton all day. Then I get some days I'll get in the car and I'll put in my USB and I just want to hear Vibes Cartel and Badman reggae tunes all day. You know what I'm saying? And then I get in the car some other days and I want to hear soca vibes. Like so I can't really call it. I can't, you know, sometimes I want to hear Panamanian Spanish reggae.
It just varies depending on your mood.
Yeah, it depends on my mood and
day.
my vibe, you know, and I've always felt like, why limit myself? I don't like that was one of the things when I first started DJing. I think that was like one of my claim to fame because back then everybody was a this DJ. You know, and back then when I first started DJing, everybody was he's a reggae. He played reggae.
He's a hip hop DJ.
He played hip hop.
Yeah.
He played soca.
Yeah.
Now, because I was Panamanian and because we listened to so much different kind of music, and I was doing a lot of like
it was
local events,
everything.
I had to come to the party with mad crates of records. Because guess what? I got to play reggae. I got to play hip hop. I got to play soca. I got to play Spanish music. I got to play oldies. I got to play Haitian music. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of different music that I kind of had to play because of you know, my culture and how we brought up. We listen to everything. Merengue, bachata.
It's like a pillow. It's like a
everything.
everything.
You go to a Panamanian event and we did mad kids parties. We did mad sweet 16s, mad sweet 7s, baby showers, christenings, and the mixtures is crazy. You know, the wife Panamanian and the husband Haitian, or the wife Dominican and the husband Panamanian.
Yeah.
So, you know, people want to hear the Panamanian stuff and the
You have to
Dominicans want to hear
diversify.
their stuff. You know, so I got to make sure I'm coming with the bachata and the merengue and the salsa and all that stuff for the Dominican part of the family. But I got to make sure I still got that Panamanian salsa and the reggae and the
Who are some of the Panamanian DJs that you look up to and say, yeah, you know, he inspired me and he inspired me? Who are some of the Panamanian DJs that you could say?
My cousin Coochie, for one.
Coochie.
Number
DJ
one.
Coochie.
For one. Number one.
You always go back to DJ Coochie. Shout out to DJ Coochie.
I always tell him, I say, bro, you put me on to the game. You put me on to the game. He put me on. He gave me my first turntable. How can I not give him a shout?
That's what's up. That's
Like
what's up.
he gave me my first turntable. He gave me my first double CD player. That's when the Jamaican dudes used to call, oh yeah, my red line, the CD song. Because I actually had to come with my player and plug into their set when I was playing.
Mixer. Yeah.
Cause they were still playing records. Nobody nobody had a CD mixer.
Yeah.
I had a Denon, I think it was a Denon 2600.
And then you went to the 9000.
You understand?
Young DJs might not understand, but
Facts,
you know.
facts. So I got to give it up to Coochie, but then, you know, also too, like when I was playing on System International, you had DJ Julio, aka DJ Buo. He was real nice with we call it machete. That's like the fast break with the Haitian, and then Tony. Who else I used to look up to? Scratch, of course. When it came to the hip hop, and just he didn't talk, just all music. You know, minor. I think he talked more now than back then. You know, but back then, just all like watching him taught me how to organize and line up my music in a routine.
Okay.
Like, and you know, like, yo, I'm gonna play this song for 15 to 20 seconds from here to there, and then when this part come, I'm gonna switch to another song, and I'm gonna play this song for another maybe 15 to 20 seconds, and maybe loop it or scratch it, and then, you know, like, he taught me how to organize my music to make it impactful.
Nice.
Like for people to be like, oh, No, like he taught. I learned that from him.
DJ Scratch.
From scratch. I learned that from him, from watching his routine and just watching like how he put his music together and watching the reactions that people got when he put his routines together. I always kept that in my mind. Like I always wanted to be like, yo, when I drop my joints, I want everybody to be going crazy, like they didn't expect me to play that.
Yeah.
You know, they say a good DJ plays all the music that you like.
Yes.
A great DJ plays the music
you didn't know you like.
that you forgot
Yeah.
that you like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The stuff like, oh, that was my joint.
Yeah.
That's what a good DJ does.
That's what a great DJ does.
That's my bad. That's what a great DJ does.
Okay. You ventured into producing. How did that come about?
I wanted to bring up my value. I started realizing that a lot of the good producers, a lot of the great producers were all DJs. And then I started putting two and two together and realized that the reason why is because a good DJ has a good ear for music. So if you have a good ear for music, then that means you'll have a good ear for making music because you know what sounds good.
Right.
So the producing thing kind of came by little. I always had ideas on how to, on wanting to make this beat or make this sound. I've always had these sounds in my head, so production kind of put me in a situation now where I could actually bring some of these thoughts to physical, so you can actually hear what I'm hearing in my head.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So it's like when I make a beat, I tell people, I said, this is what I'm hearing in my head, and you hearing it now. Like I'm actually putting it out for you to hear this. This is the drum track. This is the drum track that I heard. This is the little piano and how it was playing in my mind. Dun, 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 dun. And then I just recreated.
That's what you envisioned.
No, this is what I hear in my head, and then I just kind of recreate the beat. Recreate it. When I hear a sound, I'm like, no, but it sound like, and then I'll go through sounds until I can find a sound that it sounds like,
Right.
and then I play it in how it sounds in my head, and then I record it, and then I keep going.
You DJ, you was doing shows, you started producing, then you became an artist. Natural progression? How did, like...
Well, the artist stuff actually came before the producing.
Right. Oh, the artist came before? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And how the artist stuff came along is, I was working with a friend of mine by the name of Dollar Man. Shout out to Dollar Man.
Dollar.
And I knew Dollar for a while. I met him through a mutual friend, buddy of mine, Bang and Beats, MBB Money Bag Business. Shout out to MBB. And Bang at that time used to live on John, so I would go up sometimes. Bang used to DJ, so we'd go up there. I go up there sometimes on a Friday, hang out, and he would have different artists in the crib chatting on beats. Dollar Man was one of these artists, so Dollar Man used to be performing in the Hamptons a lot, and Bang would DJ for him. So one time Bang couldn't go, so he called me like, yo, listen, Dollar Man got a show, I can't make it. Can you go and DJ for him? I'm like, all right, no problem. He gave me Dollar Man number. We spoke. Dollar Man like, yo, just bring up a handful of records. You gonna play for like maybe 30 minutes, and then after that, you gonna introduce me, and then you just gonna play this tape and play it and pause it and play it and pause it. You know, for in between every song. I'm like, all right, cool. We went. We did the show. Everything was good. The promoter like, yo, I like your DJ friend. I want to bring him back. Whatever. So Dollar Man was like, yo, I'm working on some shit, but when shit pop off, I'ma holler at you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I want to say maybe a year or two later, Dollar hit me up like, yo, I got this song, Rock This Party. He gave me the CD. It was like, yo, he played the song for me, and on the song he had a hype man. He's like, yo, you could learn this part, you could do this part. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do in parties, you know.
Hype man, Big Ali.
Big Ali.
Big Ali.
He's like, yo, you could do his part? He's like, yeah, because I got some shows coming up in certain situation. He can't make it, so, I need you to fill in. I'm like, all right, bet. The people from Tommy Boy came to the shop, and we did the song like right in front of them. I put the CD in, And they were like, okay, yeah, he sound good. I remember that next weekend we did the PNC Theater, Jones Beach Theater, like 40,000 sold out for KTU. And then after that, he had some people come from Norway, Sweden. They wanted to do a project, and he needed a hype man. So naturally,
That was you.
that was me. So we went to the studio, we recorded, and that was kind of like my first introduction to studio. I want to say Dollar Man introduced me to that kind of studio recording life, because I did a few projects with him. We did like 4 songs with the Swedish people. We did another project, Flip Now, that's with Shati and Flight the Grand Imperial, Dollar Man and myself. We did that project, and then after that, I kind of got comfortable, and then my drummer friend, he got a studio, and he wanted to do a project with me, and then I ended up put out my first song that was called Wanna Party, and that's put out by Bone Entertainment, B-O-N-E. Shout out to Sticks Bones.
I was about to say, I thought it was Sticks Bones. You know, I didn't know it was just Bone Entertainment.
Bone Entertainment is a label.
Right.
Sticks
Okay.
Bones, my brother's name is Sticks Bones.
Right.
So Sticks Bones actually helped me put out my first joint.
So you did
Wanna
that.
Party.
You did that, and like, did you feel the bug? Did you feel, oh yeah, I could do this? Like, this is up my alley right now. This is how I'm feeling.
Let me tell you why. Because when we put out Wanna Party, we put it on DigiWax and we put it on Franchise Record Pool. And I got a little buzz. I actually, on DigiWax, I was actually had the number 4 slot for like 2 weeks. I beat out Lil Kim, Jada Kiss.
Okay.
So my song was actually getting downloaded a lot it was the top 4 most downloaded.
At that period of time.
Yeah, when we loaded it up for 2 weeks.
Right.
And we got like a lot of requests from DJs for like drops. And from some of those drops that I did, I've actually developed a couple good relationships. Shouts to my dude from Belize, my DJ homie from Belize, DJ not Luki D. Homie from Belize. I linked up with another DJ in France, DJ LBR. He actually did an official remix to Wanna Party. And then we did another song recently a while ago called Metelo. We did a couple projects together. So shouts to DJ LBR. Oh, shouts to Lindy D from Belize. That's my dude. He did a Gundam style remix with my song.
Okay.
That's actually on YouTube too.
Okay.
Yeah, Wanna
So
Party.
we can find that somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah, DJ Lindy D, Gundam style Wanna Party remix. That one is crazy.
And was it like something where you said to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna do this kind of music, or how did the soca come into play as far as your artistry goes?
I mean, I want to say soca is one of my favorite genres.
Right.
At this point right now.
Right.
I enjoy the vibe, I enjoy the energy, I like how people party. And with me being Panamanian, it's not something that's really prevalent in Panama. So I feel like I want to kind of bring that vibe to Panama. And so this is why I mix it with a little
You're trying to be the
Spanish.
conduit.
Yeah, like kind of, but bring that energy. So like in January of 2020, this year passed, we took about 150 people to Panama for Soca Invasion. We Love Soca Weekend, and it was a
Who
good.
was all with you guys? Who like?
Oh, we had my buddy of mine, me and my boy DJ Dynasty put it together, and of course we had DJ Spice, we had Giselle Lawasi one, DJ Eternal Vibes, we had Freeze International, we had Close Connections, we had DJ 62, big up DJ 62. We had DJ Blank from Barbados, myself.
So it was an international kind of.
Yeah, we had an international cast of DJs. We had DJs from all over.
Right.
And again, we brought them to Panama. We had some of the local Spanish soca artists also involved. We had Dual Fire, we had Rica Twin, we had my friend Carmencita that were involved. They were on the boat ride.
How is the soca scene right now in Panama? Like,
There is none.
there is none.
No, there is none.
Okay.
There is
But every time I go to a Panamanian party,
You
it's a
hear
lot of soca playing.
We'll see, and this is
This is New York Panamanians?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is why we're trying to bring the scene. I mean, we got embraced when we went in January with open arms.
Good.
We went up to a few stations. We got a lot of the official radio DJs asking for the music. We left a lot of USB drives with music, so everybody could kind of get up to speed. And we currently right now working on a TV slot down in Panama every Saturday, where we're gonna be doing like a countdown with like a top 10 soca list, just to get the Panamanians down in Panama more abreast and more used to the music, to the soca music and what's going on with all of that.
Okay. So you're gonna be bringing the We Love Soca vibe back to Panama sometime soon then?
Once the pandemic is pretty much over and things start to open up, we're gonna be rolling full gears. When we went to Panama in January, we only took DJs. It was a test run.
Right.
We watched what was going on. We did our numbers, and as far as scaling up, we know what we need to do. We know once the borders open up, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be it.
Yeah, it's gonna be it again. Okay. And then this time we're going back with soca artists, not just DJs.
You're gonna go back with a full force.
Yeah, we're coming back with the heavy artillery.
Good, because I've noticed that you've been promoting the We Love Soca merch and the We Love Soca gear.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that? Like, how did you come to that vibe where you say, you know what, man, I'm gonna be pushing this We Love Soca, and this is what we're gonna do.
It's just like what you said a while ago. You go to so many Panamanian events, and you hear soca music playing. So, as much as Panamanians are Spanish, as much as we're Latino, we speak Spanish. Yeah. We still have heavy Caribbean roots.
Right.
Like my great grandparents are Bajan and Jamaican.
Absolutely.
So I tell people, I got soca music in my blood. This ain't nothing I just picked up. The reason why I connect to it so good is because I realize it's in my blood.
Right.
And just like me, you got a lot of Panamanians that their great grandparents are Bajan or Jamaican or St. Lucian. You know what I mean? So the Caribbean blood is in there. So the soca vibe is there. So I just want to bring it to the forefront. Just as much as we got people that's Panamanian and they love their salsa and whatever, guess what? We love soca music too. You got Panamanians that they love their reggae. It's what's up. It's cool. But we love soca too. It's a different vibe, and I want to bring it to Panama. Like, I know some of the best parties that I've been to have been soca parties.
What was the inspiration behind Cyber Sedal?
Cyber Sedal was something that we just kind of came up with during the pandemic. Maybe about 2 weeks in, when they made the official quarantine. All the DJs was going live, and we were just chilling. And after a while, we started getting phone calls and texts like, "Yo, when you going live? Everybody going live. Y'all not going live?" So we was like, "Okay." Me and Kuji, we spoke about it. It was like, "All right, I guess we could go live on a Sunday." We was like, "When?" We was like, "All right, let's do Sunday 6 to 9, because that was always the time that we did our radio shows." And we did our first show, and here we are getting ready to do Cyber Sedal 29. Man.
What are some of the memories, like some of the memorable shows that you guys done during this time with Cyber Sedal? What stands out to you?
When we did the swimming pool edition, that stood out. When I had my Uncle Basil on up the other day, that stood out, because I have a dance that I do, Uncle Basil. So that stood out. What else? What else stood out? The Mother's Day edition stood out, because that's the day me and Kuchi came all dressed up. So that one stood out. Not the first one, Cyber Sedal number 2. Because that's actually the first one that was actually video. Because Cyber Sedal number 1, we only did it through Instagram and Facebook. So we
So,
don't
so do we have a record of that, or is it
only audio.
only audio?
Only audio on SoundCloud. That's it. We don't actually have any video for.
So if somebody's screen recorded,
Possibly if somebody. I was trying to say if I could find someone who had the link to that live.
right?
Possibly I could get someone. I know they got little programs that I could probably get it and load it on YouTube. But for now, there is no YouTube for
Sabbath
Sabbath
Sadat
Sadat
one.
#1. Only #2
And there's only audio
for #1.
for number one.
Yes, it's only the audio, not video.
So number two is the official.
The actual the first video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, part of the reason too why we don't have a Cyber Set Out #1 video on YouTube is because we started our YouTube page that first week. And YouTube has a thing where you can't do live until you had your page for 24 hours. So because we actually set it up right then and there, we weren't able to go live on YouTube. So
Right.
we had to just do Instagram and Facebook, and then the following week, that's when we were able to do YouTube.
And I know you've been doing a weekly. Is it a weekly show with DJ Spice? Is it or daily?
Daily,
Is it
Monday,
daily
Monday
show?
through Friday. Yeah, daily.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah, morning show.
Okay. And how has that been going for you?
That's been bubbling. Soca Breakfast Club is doing,
Soca Breakfast Club.
Yeah, the Soca Breakfast Club. Shout out to my brother DJ Spice. Shout out to all my Team Soca family. Shout out to all my SBC family. That's been doing great actually. We have a small family, and I say family because we've gotten so close, and we've all been going through the pandemic actually together, and we've been meeting every morning. So to me, it's a family.
Is it hard to do a daily show? What are the riggers of doing a daily show?
Your ass got to be up in the morning to do that show. That's the only rigor. That's about it.
But coming up with topics, because I've noticed that you guys came up with certain topics like Lava Man versus Talpree.
Well,
and these things.
that whole idea of the Soca Clash was something that I had brought as a suggestion to the table because it was something that I used to do when I used to play on Bashment 103.
Yeah.
We started doing like in-house clashes
Yeah.
with different DJs on the station.
Yeah.
So I said to Spice, I said, yo, we need to start doing like some, and then also too, this is when all the excitement was going on with the Bounty Killer and Beanie Man versus situation.
Okay.
And everybody kept asking, are Swiss Beats and Timbaland gonna do a Soca versus because they just did a reggae versus. So Spice and I spoke, and I was like, well, in the meantime, while they figuring out, let's do our own Soca versus.
Makes sense.
And that's how that kind of came about. And that has been definitely a great addition.
It's been received well.
Yeah, it's been received excellent. A lot of people look forward to the clash. Through the grapevine, I get a lot of feedback, about people talking about the fact that they like the clash. We also have something that we do, the Spanish phrase of the day, because the fact that I'm Panamanian. And in January, Spice came with us to Panama. So I told Spice, I said, when you come back to Panama, I said, you got to know more Spanish. I said, so guess what? I'm going to make sure I teach you Spanish. So because of that, we do the Soca, the Spanish phrase or the Spanish word of the day.
Yeah.
And again,
Give me a word for today.
What did we do today? Today, our word today was cuida tu saludo.
Meaning?
Cuida tu saludo.
For the people that don't know Spanish, maybe no English, maybe no French or whatever, what does cuida
Tu saludo.
tu saludo?
That means take care of your health.
Take care of your health.
Cuida tu saludo. That was today's Spanish phrase.
That was today's Spanish phrase of the day.
Yeah. Big shout out to my friend Magali. What's up, Magali? Big up yourself.
What the future holds for DJ Big Nito?
Right now, I'm working with my family, Willie Panama, well-known salsa singer from Panama. We're working on a project together. I got Renato 507, which is one of the originators of Spanish reggae in Panama. We're working on a project together.
I thought Herenada.
No. I said one of.
One of, yeah, I
One
heard
of.
you. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong.
No. General.
Okay.
Nando Boom.
Nice.
And,
Yes.
and Renato.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't know Renato.
And a lot of people, I want to touch on that because a lot of people don't give Panama the props.
Yeah, it started in Panama. Yeah.
They don't give Panama the props.
Yeah, it started in Panama.
Huh?
It started in Panama.
Huh?
It started in Panama.
All right, so
Just for the record.
you guys know already.
Yeah.
We love everyone. We love the whole, everybody.
There's no beef. It's all love.
Yeah.
But it started in Panama.
But it started in Panama.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the reggae and what we talking about is reggaeton.
Reggaeton, yeah. That whole vibe, that whole Spanish reggae vibe started
Yes,
in Panama.
started in Panama,
Yeah.
made popular by Puerto Rico. Is there something that you haven't done yet that you're saying in a few years or maybe in a year or so?
When my bread get right,
Yeah.
and I figure I give myself maybe, cause I'm 48 now, I give myself another 2 years. I figure maybe not a hit, but a substantial song that's gonna bring in enough bread for me to do some other things. Like I wanna I like the water. I like fishing, I like boating. So one of the things I wanna do is I wanna sail from one continent to another.
Okay.
I want to sail from New York and sail to Panama or something like that. So that's one of the things I want to do.
That's on your bucket list.
Yeah, I want to go skydiving. Right, that's another thing I want to do. I said I want to go skydiving, and I want to go scuba diving.
Professionally, is there something that
Next.
Nito hasn't done that Nito wants to do? Director.
Yeah. I have 2 ideas for 2 movies that I want to do.
Okay.
So I think when the money get right,
Yeah.
They say you can't go to war till your money get right.
Absolutely.
So when the money get right, I got an idea for a movie that I want to do. It's gonna be like a kind of like a docu movie, because it's gonna be we're gonna be using historical facts
Yeah.
to recreate a movie
Okay.
kind of sort of situation.
Okay.
But something that everybody can relate to, because it's going to be kind of based in the Panamanian community. Again, what I know what I grew up with.
You gotta do what you know.
You know what I mean?
brother.
So right, so I'm only working with what I know. I can't tell a story about somebody who grew up in Trinidad,
Yeah.
but I could tell a story about somebody who grew up in Panama.
Right.
Because I grew up in Panama.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the next level for us. Because I feel movies is, to me, is
It's the pinnacle.
that's the pinnacle. I'm very focused on producing content.
Yes.
So the last part of that for me is I have some books that I think I'm gonna actually sit down and start to put together. So, me and you was kicking it earlier. So everything that I'm doing right now, bro,
Yeah.
I'm doing it to leave for my kids.
Absolutely.
Fuego Boss Music Group, that's gonna be for my kids. My clothing company that I'm putting together, that's gonna be for my kids.
How much kids you got?
I got 3. My
3
son
kids.
Zaire,
Yeah.
my daughter Miley, and my youngest daughter Zarai.
What advice can you give to an artist, to a young artist, a struggling artist coming up right now that wants to get into the game, or even a DJ that wants to get into the game?
DJs, follow your passion. Play as much as you can. Play for as many people as you can. And listen to people's response. Don't let your ego get you hyped. Don't take offense to when people don't like what you're playing. Put yourself in a frame of mind like Mr. Fix-It. When somebody come and say, if you're DJing and somebody come and say, oh, play something else. Oh, I don't play something else. I don't like that. Ask them. Be like, what you want me to play then? Ask them, what you want me to play? Because a lot of times, people will be like, oh, let's play something else. So ask them, well, what you want to hear? Tell me what you want to hear.
So basically,
a lot
you're
of
saying
times,
be open to advice, be open to criticism.
a better way to say it is to, like, a lot of times you're gonna meet up with people that are, you might think they're talking negative to you, or you might not like the energy that they're presenting. But what I had to learn in these last couple of days, these last couple of years, is you got to learn how to get the coal. You got to learn to get the gold out the coal. In every negative comment that someone gives you, there is a speck of gold in it. You got to find out how to dig that gold out. If you're in a party as a DJ, I'm going to get to the artist after. As a DJ, you in a party, you playing, and someone don't like what you playing, you got to find and figure out a way, especially if they come and they give you commentary, you got to figure out how you could get the gold out of the coal that they throwing at you. Because there's gold in all the coal. It may not be a lot, but it's a little speck of gold in that coal. You got to figure out how to get it out, because that gold that you get out of that coal, eventually it accumulates and it makes you better. You learn how to deal with people's negative reactions. Like something I just learned I had to get over. Like, sometimes you post stuff on social media and people make negative comments. You know what I say? I don't try to go back and forth. I don't try to explain. I just say, thank you for your comment.
What people don't understand about social media, every comment is a good comment, whether it be negative or positive, because it furthers,
You were thought-provoking.
That's it.
Enough to make them respond. To make them take time to type you a message and hit send.
But not only that, on the grand scheme of thing, if you have what would you rather have? Would you rather have one good comment or 1,000 negative comments? Because that
1,000 negative comments.
Because that propels the algorithm. So,
1,000 negative comments. Yes.
Because they engaged.
Give it to me.
They engaged.
I'm not gonna see. Now what happens is, where people lose it is because they let their ego get involved.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yes.
Oh, fuck they mean they don't like my song. Fuck they mean.
They engaged.
Bro.
Yes.
You're letting your ego talk right now.
They engaged.
Take your ego and tell him to go stand in the fucking corner.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're promoting a song.
And they engaged.
And at any point, they took time to make a comment.
So they engaged.
Your song gave them a reaction. You did your job.
You did what you're supposed to do.
Whether it's a good or bad reaction,
that's what people don't understand.
That's not up to you.
Yes.
But the point is, they gave you a reaction. You did your job. They don't like it. Guess what? You got a reaction out of them. You did your job. Because I would rather have a negative reaction than no reaction.
That's what
because the negative reaction tells me, okay, guess what, Nito? Maybe your next go around on your next project, change it up a little bit.
But not only that, what my point is being, whether it be a positive or negative reaction, as long as they engage, that propels the algorithm, and that puts you in the forefront, or it puts you in front of more people because of that engagement. So negative, positive is the same thing when it comes to social media.
Well, you got to be able to know how to read it. And I use the words read it because how you learn is by learning. Okay, let me rephrase myself. How you get good at something is by learning what not to do. Let me say it again, if that makes sense to anybody. How you get good at something is by learning what not to do. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
As a barber and as a DJ, as you start DJing or you start cutting hair, the first thing when you, as they say, fuck up, whether it's you playing a party, you're doing a mix, or you cutting someone's hair and you fuck them up, the first thing you learn, okay, don't do that again. Right? So again, how you get good at something is by learning what not to do. Because when you cutting hair and you fuck somebody here up, You know what you gonna do when you cut the next person here? Yo, hold on, let me ease up.
You gonna take your time.
Last time,
You gonna take your time.
I fuck homie up last time, so let me chill this
You
time.
gonna take your time. You gonna read it before
Because you learn, again, I'm gonna repeat it. You learn what not to do. Right? Make sense? You learn what not to do. Don't push the nigga hairline back. Right? Okay. As a DJ, you in a party, you playing your first set of parties. You start playing a couple songs, and guess what start to happen? You start to hear this. Boo! 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 Shoot the DJ! Shoot the DJ! Guess what's gonna happen when you play the next party?
You gonna step it up.
You're not gonna play them songs in that order. Because you
up.
know what you gonna remember?
You
gonna remember all them boos from the last party. So guess what you did? You learned what not to do.
Nice.
So I always tell people, when you get good at something, is because you have learned what not to do. That's the learning process. So now let me open it up on a bigger scale to show people how I think. You know what not to do equals? Failure. So I bring up that word because failure is part of the process. A lot of people are so scared to fail.
They don't even try.
No. Pause, bro. A lot of people are scared to fail, but they like, the reason I'm where I'm at is because I failed.
But that's my point. My point is some people are so afraid to fail.
The reason why I'm here, the reason why I'm doing everything that I'm doing, bro, is because I failed doing other things or failed getting here. But I'm here because what failure does is failure teaches you how to get past that hump.
So in when you say
I say that to say that in order to learn, you gotta fail. It's like riding a bike. You can't learn to get your balance until you fall.
Right.
Because when you fall, you learn where that line is.
Yeah.
Like there's a line when you balancing that okay, I got balance, and then after that line, you about to bust your ass.
So let me ask you a question. So when you say that, do you feel it's actually failure, or is it a lesson that you've learned and you understand? Because a lot of people will hear the word failure.
Thank you.
And they'll be scared of the word failure.
Yeah, but I ain't scared.
It's a lesson.
But I ain't scared. But see, I'm glad you clarified that. That is the correct word.
Yeah, it's a lesson you've learned.
But unfortunately, that word is equal to failure. But because a lot of people don't want to fail, they can't get to that level. See, let me put it in visual terms for people. If you hear, right? A lot of people think when you fail, it puts you here. When you fail, if you feel it puts you here, it's because you didn't get the lesson. When you fail, it actually puts you here.
Because you got the lesson.
Because
you should have gotten the lesson.
Because when you get the lesson, when you fail, okay, perfect example. You in school, you take a math test, you get your grades back, you get an 85. The teacher sit down now, right? And she's gonna go through every question from 1 to 10. Okay, problem number 1. Who got this one wrong first? Everybody put their hands up. I'm gonna put my hands up because I got problem 1, number 1 wrong. But the teacher gonna sit there on the board and she gonna go through problem number 1. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be like, oh, that's where I fucked up. I forgot to carry the fucking 3. Damn, I overlooked that shit. Simple mistake. So guess what now, bro? I learned. Because guess what? Anytime that problem comes up around again, you know what I'm gonna say? Nito, don't forget to carry the 3.
Carry the 3.
Because guess what? That's what I learned. The fact that I didn't get it right the first time and the teacher explained it to me, I learned now. So guess what? For me, I love failure. I tell people, let me fuck up. Because I'm only going to fuck up that time, I'm only going to fuck up once. I'm going to make it my business to learn. And when I come back again, trust me, I got it. And guess what? If I don't get it that time, I'm going to learn again. And I'm going to come back. And I don't care if it's the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. Because I tell people...
You're going to get it sooner or later.
And guess what? And I tell people, you know why I say that? You see my Blanco boat ride, bro?
I've been there.
You see, you've been to Blanco.
I've been there.
And every time you came to Blanco, we've been sold out, right?
Mm.
But I keep it a buck. I tell people, Blanco ain't my first boat ride. I've been doing boat rides from I was in college, bro. My first boat ride was a boat ride that I did with my homie Top Dog and them for 150 people.
What artists do you want to work with in the future? Have you thought about that?
You know what's funny? I really haven't. I can't lie, and I'm not trying to sound any kind of way about it. I really haven't because I just feel like I got to get my value up first.
Because, hold on.
Yeah.
You do the Cyber Sadio.
Mm-hmm.
You do Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
You got the We Love Soca.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Radio show with DJ Spice.
Right.
And you don't think you got your value up yet?
You know what's weird, bro? I think I am my worst critic.
Okay.
And I stay pushing myself. Like I tell people every day, I said, like I don't wake up in the morning and go on nobody page to see what they doing. Like I'm trying to like outcompete myself right now.
So you your worst enemy.
Yeah, like
and your biggest competition.
Yeah, like I go hard for myself. Like I told you outside when we was talking, and I say it again. What I told you, I said I have a goal. Like I have a mental goal. Every day, I have to get something completed. So like, and I say that because I know hard work pays off. You know, repetition pays off. And consistency.
My thing is
consistency.
I think you take this with you. Persistence over resistance.
So I try to do everything that I do, whether I'm working out, I'm walking. Like I've been missing a couple of days.
Persistence
but like I told myself,
resistance.
I'm about to get back on it. I got my jump rope. Like for me, I'm always recalculating, but I'm always staying towards that goal. Yeah, I might make a wrong turn here there, but I recalculate and I'm back on.
All right. So you just spoke about
But I ain't answered the question yet.
Go ahead, finish up.
Artists that I would like to work with. Dozens of soca artists. I'd like to work with.
Who have you worked with before? Like, well, answer who you like to work with, and who have you worked with before?
Who I'd like to work with before? Who I'd like to work with?
Yeah.
I'd like to work with Marshall Montano. I'd like to work with Moto. Moto from Team Fox. I'd like to work with Precision Productions. I'd like to work with DJ Spider. I'd like to work with it's a lot of upcoming talent that piques my ear. But those are some of the few people that I would like to actually work with, do a song with, a production or something like that. But yeah, what's your next question?
My next question was, who have you worked with before, as far as an artist in the soca genre?
You know what? I got a story that it busts a lot of people's head when I tell them, so I'm gonna tell it to you right now. I've worked with Bungie Garland and Faye and Lyons. Back when my cousin Big Bam was working with Rough Riders, a situation came up where Rough Riders was putting out an artist by the name of Trini, T.R.I.N.I. And the name of the song was called Bang Bang. So because my cousin kind of set up the whole situation, because at that time he was working with Bungie and Fayan, I end up getting into the mix. So long story short, that studio session, we recorded the rough draft of Bang Bang with a Trini featuring Bungie Garlin, Fayan Lyons, and Big Nito. Unfortunately, the song was never released due to extenuating circumstances. I don't want to get into it, but the song was never released. But I play the song sometimes at certain parties if I'm in a vibe, and you know, people like, hold up, who that? That's Bungie? I'm like, yeah, that's Faye. Oh, that's you, Nito? I'm like, yeah. So I recorded with Bungie. I recorded with my dude Dollar Man. I recorded with my buddy Sir Scars. Right now I have a project pending with Denise Belfon and my next buddy DJ Mastermind.
Okay. So you're moving.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm working.
Plus, I know you have a song with Peter Panna.
Yeah, Quiero Ver. Yeah. That was actually the official song for the 25th annual Panamanian Parade that just went on over the weekend. So yeah, they made that the official song for the parade.
I know you guys do like the Panamanian Day Parade every year, and this year was kind of different.
Virtual,
right?
Yeah.
So what was that experience like, just doing it virtual instead of just doing it on Franklin Ave?
Well, I actually liked it because there was less work involved. I mean, usually when we on Franklin Ave, we got to set up the equipment on the truck and test it and check mics, so it was a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
We just had to bring a console and set up.
Just had to show up.
Yeah, and bring a small console and our laptop, so it was a lot easier. Definitely much more pleasant. Different because you didn't really get that crowd response that you get when you're on the road.
Do you thrive off of that crowd response?
Always. Everything for me is crowd response.
Right.
It's all energy. Like I tell any DJ, in order for you to connect with a crowd, I said, how it starts is you have to give the crowd the energy and then they send it back. And once y'all kind of establish that, now you're going to have a good party.
That's a good synergy. Nice.
Yeah, it kind of works in combination. You give it to them and they send it back to you.
Talk about trending. Talk about trending, please. Talk about trending.
Trending was a project that was sent to me via social media. Shouts to Imran Nerdy, Rapid Beats Entertainment. He was shopping the project. Nobody wanted to take the project. So I listened to the project and I was like, yo, this is dope. So I hit him up. We did the paperwork. He sent the project over. I recorded it. And the song is out. So check out the video on YouTube. It's called Trending.
How's the reaction to that song right now?
Right now, I'm getting a lot of love all down in Venezuela, Colombia, Panama. People are feeling the song. They like the vibe. They like the rhythm. So we bubbling right now.
Is there going to be a tour anytime in the future?
Tour, maybe not for Trending. I mean, I got some more releases coming up. Like I said, I got another song coming up now called Family with myself and my brother Sir Scars from Cheese and Clan.
Yeah.
Bungie Garland and them crew. So we got a song Family coming out soon. That project is pretty much ready to go. We're just waiting to release it once we finish doing all the promo for Trending. And then, like I said, I have some other projects with Willie Panama. I have another compa song project coming up with Renato. And then big shouts to my brother Udini La Voz from Philly and Ideal Bayano. We doing the Panamanian Cypher because, again, I just don't produce soca and reggae music. I also produce hip-hop. So I got a project coming out with Bayano and Udini La Voz, a hip-hop track. It's pretty much like going to be like the Panamanian Cypher. Kind of like how they do the BT Cypher. So we got a lot of Panamanians that do hip-hop. And they dope.
Yeah, I think that's what we was talking about earlier on. Panamanians is like, you have soca, you have the reggae, you have hip hop, you have
talented
pop, you have everything.
Yeah, salsa, you got compa. Like Panamanians are producing all kind of music. So again, I just want to use my platform to let this be known. Like, listen, Panamanians ain't just salsa, like it is reggae, it's soca, it's hip hop, it's compa music. You know what I'm saying? It's EDM, it's dance music.
It's worldwide.
We got all kind of vibes coming from Panama.
Worldwide, it's worldwide.
So I'm just using my platform just to bring it to the forefront. That's it.
And give me some of your other songs that you've had. Before we leave, give me some of your other songs that you've had. You released.
Released.
Yeah.
Let me see. We got Wanna Party. We got Quiero Ver. Peter Panner featuring myself. We got Metelo, produced by my brother DJ LBR from France. We got Bottles and Shots, also produced by DJ LBR. We got Fuego, produced by Coolie Chat King Heartbeat Studio. That's on the No Behavior Rhythm. Then we got Mrs. Jab, executive produced by Father Blacks. That's on the Jab Horn Rhythm. We got
a lot of songs there,
we got Panamanian, huh? That's still to be released. That's coming soon. That's gonna be on the EP. That still got a little editing to do. So we got Panamanian, huh? That was written and produced by me. We got what else? Of course, we got Trending. And what else we got? Anything I'm missing? I think that's about it.
Nice.
That's
nice,
it.
nice.
Wanna Party, Quiero Ver, Bottles and Shots, Metelo. Got the Wanna Party remix. Got like 3-4 remixes to that. Trending, Panamanian, huh? I got about eight or nine releases out so far. I'm on Spotify now. It's official.
Okay, I was about to ask you. Someone want to link DJ Big Nito. Give them your social media. Give them everything that you can. Let them know where they can find you, man.
All social platforms, DJ Big Nito. Wherever. Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, DJ Big Nito. Everything will come up from there.
Everything DJ Big Nito.
Everything DJ Big Nito.
Oh, man. All right, my brother. I appreciate the fact that you came through. Love is love. You already know.
We'll be back, baby.
You understand? We definitely going to have you
just
back. We ain't even talked as much as we could. Yeah, we got a couple of more months of talk to go. But I appreciate the fact that you came through. You know what I mean? And we've held it down. So we're going to see you again. Thank you, DJ Big Nito, for coming through. Caribbean Talk.
Bless up.
DJ Killer on the Great, you already know.
All
Man.
the time. Bless.
Yeah, Babylon them chase we with them gun pon them waist. See, get a you, don't let them replace.